What is poppin', guys? You got your coach of the Chimchargers here for our GBA Season 7 draft analysis. Gonna be going over the team that we picked up this season, and I drafted a lot of new Pokemon, a lot of Pokemon that I thought maybe we could try to whip up some heat sets that we could bring. As you know, already know, GBA for me is about whipping up heat sets, bringing them and styling with them and trying to win. So we'll see if we can do that. But I'm really excited about this season, especially since it was a free draft format. A lot of cool Pokemon have been picked up, a lot of really threatening teams, so we'll see how we can fare in this kind of environment with you know, just a lot of threatening Pokemon. See if we can counter team those. But anyways, on to the Pokemon that I picked here. Let's just go ahead here and get right into it. The draft already happened, by the way, the other day, so you know, if you guys made it out to it, then hope you all had a great time there. I definitely did as well, since I was one of the people commentating alongside A-Drive. So let's just go ahead here and hop into the team. So the first Pokemon that I drafted is none other than Landorus. Nice Lando T here. It's a really solid Pokemon. Alright, it only has two weaknesses, that being Ice, which is ×4, and then Water, like regular super effective. So because, I mean, even though it has a ×4 Ice weakness, it's a very offensive Pokemon. So it's tough to deal with for sure. It's definitely a top tier threat for like a Pokemon such as Landorus. It's a really cool Pokemon, very versatile because it has access to a lot of setup moves. For instance, Swords Dance, Rock Polish, even Combine and Bulk Up. It has a base 145 attack, base 105 special attack. Speed is pretty decent with base 91. Defenses are okay. Intimidate is a very useful ability in lowering your opposing Pokemon's attack. So then you'll probably be able to maybe set up easier or make a Pokemon less of a threat. And has a lot of coverage moves. I'll just name a few off the top of my head. We got like Earthquake, we got Stone Edge, Knockoff, Super Power, U-Turn from Momentum, which is awesome. We also have Outrage. Wow, not bad. Outrage, Iron Tail. There's a lot of interesting moves you can run on this thing. Even on the special side as well, we got stuff like Earth Power, Focus Blast, Grass Knot, Psychic, Sludge Wave, any hidden power you want to run for an opposing Pokemon. A lot of different options on Landorus, and I feel like you can put in a lot of work here. There's a multitude of sets that we can run for this thing. Now, after my first Pokemon, I decided that the route that I wanted to go this time was I wanted to pick up Pelipper next. And the reason is because I think Pelipper is going to have a much better time in terms of rain in the draft format than Politoed, because Pelipper is one of the new ability Pokemon that are in this generation right now. It has a new ability, which is Drizzle. And now, like with Drizzle plus the amount of utility it has in terms of having, you know, moves such as like Knockoff and U-Turn from Momentum. U-Turn from Momentum is really nice because having that Momentum Rain is so useful. I think it is probably the only weather setter with Momentum, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I'm wrong, but yeah, Pelipper is a really cool Pokemon in that sense, and I mean, looking at its move pool, it has Defog. It is a great Defogger, so I do have a Stealth Rocker and a Defogger now. I also, it's able to have that nice longevity with Roost, so unlike Politoed, it's able to just have that healing potential with Roost there without having to run Rest. And you know, it's a very bulky Pokemon. It's very defensive, base 100 defense, base 95 special attack, which is still really great. In the rain, we can spam Hurricane, so that's also a plus there. And I feel like it can put in a lot of work, even though it has a ×4 electric weakness. It's a Pokemon that can set up rain, and it can do it really well. It can definitely do it really well, I feel, in my opinion. So with Landorus and Pelipper, we got that nice double birds, double flying types here. I wanted a Pokemon that could sort of patch the weaknesses, maybe an electric type Pokemon that could also do well under Pelipper's rain, maybe synergize well with Lando T. I picked up Magnezone next, and the reason that I picked up Magnezone, looking at it right now, right, I got a U-Turner in Lando T, I got a U-Turner in Pelipper, and now I got a Volt Switcher in Magnezone. So I have here nice momentum trio. So Magnezone here is going to be Steel Electric, synergizes really well, being able to take the Ice type attacks, the Rock type attacks, being able to have a weakened weakness to Fire type. So because of the rain, the Drizzle will weaken Fire type attacks, and that's pretty cool. It has 3 useful abilities. Magnepool can trap Steel types like Skarmory, Scizor, and stuff like that, or maybe even force them to run Shed Shell. But we're not limited to that. We also have Sturdy, which is cool because from full HP, you know, let's say we're up against a threat that would otherwise OHKO us, we would be able to live and actually do a lot of damage back. So that could be pretty useful there. Also got Analytic too, so that's a third ability this thing has, and that's also useful because if your opponent is feeling threatened, right, they'll want to switch out, and they'll switch out to another Pokemon. You get off an even powerful attack because you're going after their switch, so Analytic is activated, giving you 1.3 times boost to your power. So I think that this Pokemon is really nice overall in terms of what it can do. It gives momentum with Volt Switch, which is awesome, and it has it's a Steel type. Steel type is always a great type, you know, in general, and Flash Cannon is a good stab move. We also got other moves, for instance. What else do we have? Like Signal Beam is pretty cool. Could be useful versus certain Grass type Pokemon that could maybe tank Magnezone, like Celebi, for instance. I guess I don't know. What else we got? Like Magnerize is cool. It could be pretty interesting to abuse. Don't want to give away too many tricks of the trade. Or trade secrets, but I think it's a really cool Pokemon that can put in a lot of work for this team. I mean, we got Thunder that can come off at a really high power in the rain, and it's a solid electric type Pokemon, can run a lot of sets like Scarf, Specs, Assault Vest, even Balloon. We'll see what we can do. We'll see how we can make this thing work. And I mean, of course, if like some certain members of the team don't work, like I'll trade and do a lot of that kind of stuff. Like last season, for instance, like Slurpuff didn't do much work, and I just got rid of that for something else. So we'll see. Like definitely, these are Pokemon that I've not had any experience with in draft format. So if there's anything I need to change, we'll do it. Like we'll adjust, and I feel like we can do well this season. We'll probably hopefully make playoffs. We'll see, but that's just thinking too far ahead. Next Pokemon we got that I picked here is gonna be Dragonite. So my fourth pick is Dragonite, and the reason that I picked Dragonite is for, like, think about it. It's an amazing Pokemon all around, even without the rain. I mean, it runs a good amount of sets, like for example Dragon Dance, like Choice Band, even a mix set could be pretty cool. This thing's attack and special attack are nice, and in the rain it's gonna be able to hit 100% accurate stab Hurricanes and Thunders. It's not gonna be able to miss Thunder. Like look at its move pool. It's got a lot of moves. Like we got Draco Meteors, we got dropping Dracos, we got Earthquake, which is good coverage with Fire Punch as well, and we got like I'm not even limited to rain. Like the point that I wanted to I guess the objective that I wanted to go about for this draft was to have the potential for a rain team, but also be able to sometimes not bring a rain team if I don't want to. I don't really want it to be sort of, oh, I have to bring a rain team every week. Like I didn't want it to be like that. So I feel like Dragonite was a great pick there. Like I was thinking between Dragonite and Tornadus Eye, which one would be better, and I feel like Torn Eye is just better in weather, whereas Dragonite is better in all sorts of conditions. So I mean, Dragonite here is a lot of good coverage, and it's not even limited to offense. You can even run like a more defensive set with, I don't know, T-Wave or something. Like I'm not even sure, but it's just a solid mon. Even though like D-Knight and Lando have like a ×4 weakness, it's still like fine. I mean, it's a really offensive Pokemon, difficult to deal with in many cases, and I mean, it has the ability to multi-scale, so that's always a plus there. Now the next Pokemon that I drafted is gonna be your boy, Mr. Jambat, Alakazam. we got this nice Alakazam here. All right, it's an interesting mon because of the fact that it's super fast, right? You got that nice speed here, nice base 120 speed. You got that nice base 135 special attack, so that's nice and powerful. Magic Guard, be taking no status, right, or no hazard damage or anything like that. It is like a it's a perfect check to a lot of Pokemon because of Focus Sash. This thing hits really hard, and it's able to check Pokemon because of Sash and not taking hazards. So you can't really OHKO it in many scenarios. So it's a great Pokemon to sort of provide as a safety net in many scenarios. It can provide as a safety net while also being just a nice offensive Pokemon. Even with Life Orb too, this thing can hit really hard. So I don't know. A lot of teams can have some trouble with Alakazam. So I feel like this would be a great pick for the team. And I mean, it's like coverage wise, it's pretty good. You got like Psychic coverage. You got even Shadow Ball, Focus Blast. You got like Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball. So it's nice. I mean, you even got like knockoff too for Pokemon just to get rid of items and stuff. Maybe even like a Violites that could otherwise make your attacks a little bit weaker. Taunt, which is awesome. I mean, this thing is a great taunter, and Encore, even Disable could be cool. Substitute is nice on this thing. Yeah, Alakazam, I think you can do a lot of different things in the format, and I mean, it's a great Pokemon. It's very much a threat. So looking at our team, man, we got a lot of threats here. Like Dragonite, Lando T, Alakazam, all threats. Now the next Pokemon that I picked up is going to be a Pokemon that I really felt was sort of, you know, just giving me the bang for my buck, as the saying goes. It's just giving me a lot in this one pick here. I went ahead and I drafted a Alolan Muck. The reason is because, firstly, I needed a Pokemon that could sponge dark types, ghost types. Those, like, I had a big weakness to that, because looking at my team before Muck, I mean, ghost types, dark types, like very powerful ones would be kind of problematic. So I went ahead here and I picked up Muck. Muck is great because, firstly, it can, I mean, it's poison dark. It's able to switch into moves like Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse, etc. Anything like that. It's a great sponge. It can take hits really well while also having good offense. We're rocking here base 105 attack, base 100 speed F, base 105 HP, and its other stats are not that bad. I mean, base 75 defense is still okay. It's not too bad. This thing's nice. Poison touch ability gives you like a more than 50% chance to poison something with poison jab, so that's cool there. And it's a great pursuit trapper. Very, very excellent and solid pursuit trapper, and it's a very cool Pokemon. It has a lot of potential, I feel, and I think it pairs really well with the team overall. I feel like, you know, we have a lot of Pokemon that are not weak to ground, so having Muck here, because his only weakness is ground, so we have a lot of, I guess, a lot of synergy in that sense. Now, the next Pokemon that I picked up here is going to be Empoleon, and the reason that I picked up Empoleon was because I needed another Pokemon that could potentially defog and set up rocks without having to bring Pelipper each week to do that. Didn't want to have to bring Rain each week, so Empoleon can kind of do both. I'm not limited to that, of course. This thing is very offensive as well. I mean, it has a base 111 special attack, so that's awesome. Great coverage moves like, for example, Scald or Surf, or even Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Flash Cannon. Yeah, like Grass Knot even. There's a lot of things this thing can do. It even has a great physical move pool as well, with access to Defiant, which is cool, and Swords Dance. That's a really fun, I guess, way of using Empoleon. You got priority Aqua Jet on this thing, which is cool. I mean, you can run an Agility special set or even an Agility physical set. I don't even know. Like, there's a lot of possibilities with Empoleon. I feel like it's a really interesting pick, and it's a lot of things in one. So I think what we gotta watch out for is just being able to, I guess, make the most optimal use of it. Like, not bring every time a Stealth Rocker with this thing or Defogger, but you know, if there's an offensive set that can do really well versus the opposing side, we should take advantage of it. I think there's a lot this thing can do, and you know, it's a solid Pokemon. Like, in terms of its stat wise, it's pretty balanced. It's a pretty balanced Pokemon, and it can fire off some heavy hits. Like, its speed wise is not that great, but you have agility, so I feel like this thing can do some work. Now, the next pick here, which is perhaps one of the more favorable Pokemon that I really enjoy using a lot, is Meloetta. And the reason that I picked Meloetta, right, because, well, say I already have a Psychic type, so, you know, you might be wondering, why did I pick a Meloetta? The reason is because, right, I've noticed that a lot of coaches in general, it doesn't matter what league you're in, they like to diversify their types a lot. So they're gonna pick like maybe like one Pokemon that's a fire, water, then grass, and then they'll move on to like a dark, a dragon, a steel, a fairy, a rock. They're gonna pick a variety of types, and a lot of these coaches, they pick so many different types that if you just if you draft something maybe to apply pressure on one side, like you draft a couple of Psychic types or a couple of water types. Like, I love drafting water types because water spam is a lot of fun. Even like flying spam, I have flying spam too, like Landorus and Pelipper and Dragonite. You can really pressure one side and then just keep pushing on that side. Like, they'll only have maybe one or two checks at best, or maybe one good counter. And if you get rid of that and you have like another one in the back, that could be really threatening. So that's kind of why I like drafting a couple of the same type. So and plus, like Alakazam and Meloetta, they don't share the common they don't share a ghost weakness that Psychic type has, because Meloetta is normal and Psychic, so that's really useful there. Plus, it can transform, so I have access to both forms here. Let's just go ahead and take a look at it. So Meloetta, all right. So Meloetta here is the regular form, of course. Base 128 special attack, base 128 speed F, 100 HP, and this thing has a 90 speed, which is pretty decent. So normal Psychic is nice. It has Serene Grace, so call it Jirachi 2.0 right here. See, I couldn't pick up Jirachi because it got sniped from here. I don't even know if I wanted to pick it either, but like, I didn't get Jirachi, so we got Jirachi 2.0. A nice Serene Grace Meloetta. This thing is cool. Its coverage is amazing. This thing's coverage is so great. I mean, we got access to literally, like, if you think of something, we got it. Like Thunderbolt, yep, we got it. Energy Ball, yeah, definitely. Dazzling Gleam, Psychic, Shadow Ball. Even, do we even have Dark Pulse? I don't even need Dark Pulse, we have Shadow Ball. What else? Like Hyper Voice, Normal Spam. We have that, so that's pretty cool. This thing can even be good utility. I mean, it has like Perish Song, T-Wave, Heal Bell, I think it has. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. What else does this thing have? So yeah, I mean, this thing is really nice, and it has Calm Mind too, so it has access to a setup move as well. I think this thing can do a lot of work. Now, we're not limited to that, like I said, right? We can transform with Relic Song into the other form, which is Meloetta Pirouette form. And this thing here, right, is a base 128 attack, base 128 speed. So instead of going at we go from a special attacker to a physical attacker, and this physical move pool is cool. We got Close Combat. We got nice and powerful fighting stab with Close Combat. Normal stab, we got like return and stuff. I mean, that's still pretty powerful with a stab boost. We got like Shadow Claw on this thing. We got Ice Punch, Fire Punch. I don't think we have Thunder Punch. Yeah, we do have Thunder Punch. We got Elemental Punches. We got a lot of different things this thing can run. I mean, we do have to use Relic Song to activate it, but because of Serene Grace and because we are in our special attacking form, it's going to do a lot. It's going to do a good amount of damage. Like Relic Song's base power is, if I'm not mistaken, I think Relic Song's base power is, what is it, like 75? Yeah, I think 75. Yep, 75 base power. So that coming off of a Meloetta with a base 128 special attack, very powerful, plus Serene Grace gives you a better chance of putting a Pokemon to sleep with Relic Song, getting into your Pirouette form, and then, you know, just spamming attacks. This thing's base 128 speed is amazing. So I feel like Meloetta is just a very versatile mon that can do so much, gives you a lot of things you can do. Now, after this pick here, right, I decided, okay, I don't want anybody getting, you know, clever and trying to grab one of my Rain Sweepers. So I decided, you know, because I have a Pelipper, to pick up a Kingdra. And Kingdra here is definitely one of the more widely known and respectable Rain Sweepers here. And it's just very solid, rocking base 95 for its attack, special attack, defense, and SPDEF. And its speed-wise, it's really, really good for a Swift Swimmer, able to outrun a lot of things. And speed is very nice in draft format. Having a lot of speed is cool. And with Kingdra, I think we can put in a lot of work here. We're not limited to just running Specs or a Life Orb special attacking set. Can also run a physical set with D-Dance even. I mean, we can also run, we don't even have to run it with Rain. I mean, we can just run like Specs Kingdra without Rain, or even Sniper Kingdra, Focus Energy, so that'd be pretty fun, and see if we can pull that off at some point in time. And like I said before, I mean, I'm not used to running Rain in draft format, so if it just doesn't work out for us, I'll find a way to patch the team up by trading and stuff. But I think it's really cool. I think that the draft that we have right now is something that we can really put in a lot of work with versus some of the people that we face. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll take it from there. But Kingdra here, it's a great Rain Sweeper, so I decided just to start building my Rain team right now with having the Rain Sweeper on the team, and it just has a good amount of coverage. I mean, we got Scald, Ice Beam, we got like Signal Beam and stuff, dropping Dracos or Draco Meteor, even Outrage. Flash Cannon could be cool versus Fairy types. Yeah, it's interesting, and let's see how we can do with it. Now, the next Pokemon that I picked up for our team is going to be Virizion. So, Virizion here, the reason that I picked Virizion, okay, so I was thinking, right, I wanted to grab maybe Heracross, that got taken from me, then I was going to grab Mienshao, that got taken from me as well. Then I'm thinking to myself, alright, wait a second, alright, Virizion is an interesting Pokemon. It definitely, like, I mean, in standard play and like the OU tier and whatnot, and, you know, Showdown and stuff, it's probably not the best Pokemon, just because of all like the flying type threats out there, like Tornadus and etc. All the kind of stuff that's out there right now. But in draft format, it could be pretty good. Like, thinking about it right now, it's got a good amount of speed, so it gives me another speedy Pokemon besides Alakazam. And yeah, besides Alakazam, like Landorus is pretty decently fast. Meloetta, we have a good Pokemon here, which is Grass Fighting, fast Pokemon. And the way this thing does well is through setup. It has access to Calm Mind and Swords Dance, so it's not that difficult to set up, to be honest, because of the fact that it has a base 91 HP, base 129 SPDEF. So setting up should be relatively easy in theory, especially with Calm Mind versus special attacking Pokemon. Even if it's like a Moonblast from a Pokemon, I don't know, such as Whimsicott or something, you can set up over that, like with well, if they don't have Encore, like I'm just trying to like give scenarios, but like versus a special attacker that can have like a Moonblast or something versus you, it's probably you could probably set up with Calm Mind and you have like Giga Drain there, and I think this thing can definitely be a threat for sure. Gives me a Grass type, which is something that I did not have last season, and it gives me a Fighting type Pokemon, so I don't have to really rely on Meloetta transforming to give me my Fighting type Pokemon. So it has that in one. So I think that's a really interesting pick here, and hopefully you all agree that it's a good one. But like I said, we'll adjust and see how it goes. Now, the last Pokemon that I drafted for GBA Season 7 is gonna be Lord Helix, the Omastar. Ah, not bad. So, okay, I'll tell you why I picked Omastar. Firstly, because it's good in the rain. It's a great Pokemon to either alternate between this and Kingdra if I have a better matchup for one of them, or even bring both if they just get destroyed by it. And yeah, Omastar here can Shell Smash, so it is my of course I needed to bring a Shell Smasher. It's my obligatory Shell Smasher. So we don't have like last season was Gorbis. We can't Smash Pass anymore, so I'll just bring a nice Shell Smashing Omastar this time. Swift Swim is cool with this ability. It's not limited to that. Can also run maybe even a weak armor set with Rocks, Spikes. It even gets T-Spikes as well, so this is a great Pokemon to set up hazards. We got great coverage, like Water type coverage. We got Stab with like Surf, Scald, or Ancient Power. We also got Ice Beam, Earth Power, Hidden Powers of any sort, you name it. This thing is really, really cool. Weak armor also gets a buff as well. Gives you a ×2 speed if you get hit by a physical attack, I think, so that's pretty fun. I think that Omastar is a great way to patch, or not to patch, but to end this team off in style. So Lord Helix here for you all. Look at this base 115 special attack. With a Choice Specs in the rain, I'm sure it's gonna 2-hit KO resist as well. So yeah, that's gonna be the team. So hope you guys are excited for the season of the GBA, and the first match is going to be going up this Sunday. I'll go ahead and post the I guess the team builder a day before the actual match, as always. And I think week 1 we are up against Gator, so yeah, he actually is a good team too. So I'm a little bit intimidated by that, a little bit frightened by his team, but we'll see how we can do. But yeah, first time going to be using Rain in the GBA. We'll see how it goes, and hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think, of course, and as always, thank you for supporting, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.